All right, we're here with Arizona baseball coach Jay Johnson. Fresh off a victory on Monday at BYU. Jay, how big was that win considering the games that had preceded it against Utah?
Yeah, it's a huge win. It's hard to win on the road, let alone against a team that's 23-3. In BYU's case, they're an RPI top 25 team at that point. And it was a huge crowd. I don't know if anybody in Provo works on Mondays, but there was 3,000 people in there, and for our guys to go in there and play with good poise was a great victory for us.
You had mentioned in midweek that you wanted to be a really good team in late inning situations, and that obviously kind of backfired on you a couple times there at Utah. What do you think went wrong, and what can you take out of those situations?
Well, I think it was a good learning experience for our team on both fronts or both sides of the ball. Offensively, when you have a lead, you got to keep pressing and keep going for it and keep trying to play it an inning at a time and put up as many runs as you possibly can. And then from a bullpen standpoint, even 28, 29 games into the season, we're still figuring out which guys fit into what roles. I think that's starting to become a little clearer, but you got to hold it down. I mean, we played pretty good defense all weekend, and had a problem throwing strikes on Saturday, and then Sunday Cody Deason gave us a spectacular effort, which we needed, and we're just going to keep working, figure out those parts.
Right. At what point do you think the consistency is going to come on the pitching side of things, or do you not know when?
Well, I think you look at it in a couple different ways. I think our starting pitching this weekend was spectacular. Nathan gave us a chance, 7 innings on Friday. JC was 7 1/3, I believe, on Saturday. Cody was awesome, which is great for the present and the future. The outing he put together, and then Bobby was great at BYU on Monday. I think now that we're going to settle into a little bit more of a normal schedule with 3 weekend games and occasionally a midweek game, I think it's going to clear some things up where we'll be able to establish a rotation and maybe 3 left-handers, 3 right-handers that fit into roles out of the pen that will help us match up and be a little bit more consistent with what we're doing.
So the flu bug kind of hit the team over the weekend. What kind of an effect did that have on things?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think our guys learned some things that they can do more than they think they're capable of. I mean, 2 of the guys that were impacted were JC and Bobby. Had forced us to move JC back to Saturday, and then Bobby was unable to play on Saturday, but then ended up starting on Monday, and those guys really persevered and did a good job. So I hope it's a good learning experience for our team. A little beat up on the position player side of it where we had to shuffle the deck a little bit, but it was good to learn some things. Kyle Lewis stepped up, had a bunch of hits, and expands our bench a little bit. So in the immediate, it made things tough, but I think in the long run, it's got a chance to turn out to be a positive.
Okay, last thing for you, Washington State coming up this weekend. You're back at home. Give us a little bit of a preview of what we can expect in that series against the Cougars.
Hard fought. They have the best Friday starter in the league in Ian Hamilton. On paper, I believe he was picked as the preseason pitcher of the year. And with all the great pitchers that we've seen to this point, just with 3 weeks in, he's pretty good. Good hard fastball up to 95 miles an hour, good slider. And they're going to be extremely well coached. Marty Lees is a good coach, and then Dan Spencer, the pitching coach. We had some wars with him the last couple of years. He was at the University of New Mexico, so I know what quality job they do. We've watched them on film a little bit, and I think they'll come in ready to compete. It's a legitimate Pac-12 team, and it'll be a good test for us.
Awesome. Thanks, Jay.
Got it.